What's up, guys, and welcome back to my gaming news podcast. It's been a very long time since the last one. I believe we are on podcast numero 7. So, yeah, there's been a fair few things going on with my life, which has sort of got in the way of doing this whole podcast content creation thing. So apologies for not being around if you are one of my listeners. This podcast is available in a variety of different platforms. It is on YouTube as a visual product. It's also visual on Twitch, which is what I'm doing right now. This is live streamed over on my Twitch, www.twitch.tv/GoneHollowLive. It's also on audio platforms as well. If you are a sort of en route to work listener, this is on Spotify, Apple, I believe it's on a few others now, like Google Podcast and a lot of other platforms. So if you want to find out where to find it, you can either message me on one of the social platforms I'm on, or just follow the links that you can find through any of them. So like I was saying, it's been a while. I think since January. So in January we actually got a puppy. So if anyone has had a puppy or a new baby or anything along those lines, you'll know that it's a lot of work, and a lot of your time is spent making sure it's not just destroying your house or your valuable technology. So a lot of the last couple of months we've been training a new puppy, being a horror fan, being a Resident Evil fan, and we'd planned on saying this name for a dog for a while, actually, just because we thought it sounded right for a dog. It sounded nice as a dog. So we have a little corgi called Wesker. So if you are a visual viewer, then here is a picture about to pop up on the screen for you of our adorable pup. He's about 14 weeks old now. So there is Wesker. If you are a audio listener, then just picture a little demonic corgi with huge ears. And if you do want to see it, you can check out one of the visual podcasts or check me out on social media to find many of the many pictures I've taken of my puppy Wesker. So he has been taking up a lot of my time of creating podcasts and YouTube content, but also gaming as well. So trying to fit everything in has been a bit of a juggle, but further ado, absolutely love this little puppy and it's been worthwhile. So I will take that off the screen and we will move on to what I have been playing. So there's not actually that many news topics in this week's episode, but I will go over some of the things I've been playing. So first and foremost, let's get on to Destiny 2's expansion, The Witch Queen. Now, I've always played Destiny since it first came out on the PS4. Well, I guess it was cross-gen at the time, but I was massive into Destiny 1. I played so many hours on that game, did all of the raids and everything. So Destiny 2, when that came out, I did everything in the story, but I never played the raid until a few years later when I got some friends to play it with, actually, when it became like cross-play and stuff like that. So Destiny 2, I've sunk a lot of hours into this game, and leading up to the release of this new Witch Queen expansion, I had a season pass full of stuff to do, so I kind of crammed it all in really last minute. So over the last, let's say, it came out on the 22nd of February, I think, this expansion. That whole last couple of weeks before then, I was just like doing strikes and quests and exotic quests and just trying to get everything done before this one came out, just so I was on top of the curve, really. Not because I was trying to conquer everything in the game, but I've actually been playing a fair bit of this as well. So I work a lot of early morning shifts, so my wake ups now have been waking up, getting ready, getting back into bed, and having a quick session on Destiny 2 on my laptop. I've actually bought a new gaming laptop, so I'm able to play PC games in bed now, or at least around the house. So I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 The Witch Queen. That being said, I've not actually made it that far through the story, but I've been playing as much of the content as I can. What really stopped me was I was playing the campaign on the legendary difficulty, which is a new difficulty setting for the story mode, where you are given extra sort of rewards and loot for obviously playing on a different difficulty. And I think I got about 2 missions into this and I was struggling, especially with the dog running around. I was getting killed left, right and center, so I ended up just trying to do as much of the other stuff to level up in the game. And then I've actually gone back and turned it back to classic difficulty, and I've been finding it a lot easier to get through the game now. So I'm really enjoying it, actually. There's lots of cool worlds in this one. If anyone knows me and my sort of history with Destiny, I love the more hive aspect of it. If you are watching the visual, you'll see the Witch Queen on the screen there. And I love the hive sort of enemy faction in the game, just because it has this alien aesthetic, this Geiger-esque sort of what's the word, organically alien creatures anyway. So I love a lot of the world design in this expansion, and it does remind me a lot of the things from with movies like Prometheus and Alien. So yeah, I can't wait to delve deeper into the story to see what happens, and eventually check out the new raid for this game, because I've always enjoyed the raids in this game, but it just takes a certain amount of time to get ready for one, and then having enough of teammates who are in like the mindset and haven't any idea what they're doing with this. So yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of Destiny 2, and I imagine that's what I'm going to be doing when I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I've been doing on that front. So next up, John in the chat says, "Oh my god," I'm assuming that's about my boy Wesker. Yeah, he's very cute. Yeah, he's a handful, and he does like to bite. So, but yeah, he's great. I can't say anything too bad about him. He's a lovely dog. So, Elden Ring. This is going to be the biggest sort of focus point in this podcast, I guess. Talking about Elden Ring. This is everywhere right now. I've been a huge fan of these games since the first Dark Souls game came out. I never picked up Demon Souls, but ever since Dark Souls 1, I've been on the Soulsborne train. These are some of my favorite games of all time. They're definitely in the top 5, majority of them. So I've been excited for Elden Ring for a long time. I did actually put a video up on my YouTube channel of the Premium Collector's Edition. We have the helmet from the character in the game. It's sat right there. But yeah, so I'm mad about Soulsborne. So when this was coming out, open world Souls game, how is that going to play out? Was I cautiously optimistic? Was I a bit worried about what they were going to do, if it was going to be less focused? And as you can imagine from just the amount of critical acclaim the game has got, I'm absolutely loving Elden Ring. So this is the Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne platform, but in an open world, back to a bit more of a fantasy-esque world. So it's more like Dark Souls than it is Sekiro or Bloodborne. But wow, I'm having a blast with this game. I'm about 45 hours into the game, and I've only beaten maybe 3 of the main bosses in the game, but I've killed a lot of bosses, and I've been to a lot of dungeons, and this game just never seems to end. So if anyone has played the game, I've kind of covered the majority, I would say, of the first area of Limgrave, and some of the area towards the top left of the map, but the top right and the right section of the map is basically untouched, besides a few places I teleported to. But every time I think I am finished with an area, I find something else, and it's just such a wonderful feeling to be playing an RPG game where the wonder of the game is just seen through your own eyes. You just be walking somewhere and you'll see something off in the distance, and you'll just see something like a monument or a creature moving, and you'll just want to go over there and see what it is. It just captures your imagination, and there's something like that around every corner. I think the words "what the fuck is that" have come out of my mouth at least 100 times, I would say, in those 45 hours. I seem to walk around the corner, see something just otherworldly or just crazy or bonkers, and I'll just say, "What the fuck is that?" Because it happens so often in the game, and I'm continuously surprised by it. So I'm playing the PS5 version of the game. I do have it on PC as well. I was originally going to be playing the PC version as my primary version, but there's a lot of issues with that game. It has a lot of stuttering and frame rate drops and just general not smooth things happening with the PC version of that game. So I have been patiently waiting for them to give a patch that fixes it, but who knows when that will be, if they will ever fix it. From Software have never been the best for sort of fixing their games, really. So I am expecting it to get a fix, because the game has sold 12 million copies in a few weeks. Now, if you tally that compared to Dark Souls 3, I think I read somewhere that had made 4 million in 4 years, and Elden Ring has made that in 3 weeks. So that is crazy. So Elden Ring, the Souls games, are now right bang in the center of mainstream gaming. So there's going to be a lot more people playing these games. There's going to be a lot more people hopefully going back and checking out some of the older titles, because I mean, essentially the combat is the same. It just don't have the open worldness and the ability to escape from enemies and go somewhere else, essentially. So I do hope a lot of people go back and say, actually, I really do enjoy the combat in this game, and check out something like Bloodborne or Sekiro or Dark Souls. But yeah, just crazy game. I'm playing as I started as an astrologer in the game, which is a character which is based around using sorcery and melee. And the first initial stages I was using a lot more sorcery, but now I tend to sort of enchant my weapons as a buff and then go in with my axe. It's called a jawbone axe, I believe, and it doesn't have the longest of range, but it packs a punch, and I'm enjoying playing with it. But like I said, with the amount of things in the game, there's so many weapons and armor sets and spells and incantations that I'm overwhelmed, and I need to sort of just sit back and try everything out just to see which things I like playing with the most. So Elden Ring has just been, yeah, absolutely incredible game. Performance would be fixed. I am hoping it does get a bit of a sort of performance uplift at some point, just to make it more what's the word, consistent, because I'm playing as the performance mode on PlayStation 5, and it does seem to fluctuate between, say, 40 to 60 frames a lot. And sometimes you can notice it, especially if you're in a boss fight and there's an enemy jumping around in the air, and you can see it drop, and it does sort of put you off a little bit. But other than that, yeah, there's so much to say about this game, really. If you do have any questions about Elden Ring, do put them down either for this podcast live or for next time, and we will talk about some more Elden Ring. Okay, the next topic, this is going to be a bit of a short one, but we do have the release of the next generation version of GTA 5. This has got to be up there with the amount of, ports of a game ever made. So we've got Skyrim, we've got GTA 5, and we've got, what was the other one? There was another game that's been ported, Resident Evil 4. So those games have been ported so many times to different consoles. So this game came out in 2013, I believe. So it's actually nearly at 10 years old. And it's just released on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S as a next generation port. Each of those has their own sort of modes. I believe the Series X and the PS5 have a high fidelity mode, which runs the game at a native 4K with ray tracing. There's a performance ray tracing mode, which is the same as fidelity but at a upscaled lower resolution, and a performance one, which is just a locked 60 frames at a upscaled 4K but without the ray tracing. So I'm playing on performance RT mode because it's the best balance of both things, really. But I've not actually played much of it. I've only played the first few missions. I absolutely loved this game when it first came out. I mean, I played it on the 360. I double dipped. I got it on the PS4. Never finished it on the PS4. And then I got it on PC because I got a PC and I wanted to see what it looked like and what it played like. And honestly, it was only £8 in the UK to upgrade to the PS5 version. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it. £8. I can sit downstairs in front of the TV and just jump on it and ride around Los Santos. So yeah. It does look pretty nice. I'm not overwhelmingly glowing with its next gen upgrade. It does look a lot nicer, but it's not mine. It's not a full remake. This isn't a full remake, but I am hoping this version does get a upgrade on the PC as well, just because the PC version is now left behind in comparison to the consoles. But obviously the PC version has mods and all kinds of things. So yeah, £8, I couldn't really turn it down. I'm not too sure how much it is now, because I know it was an introductory price. It might have gone up, but if you are looking to double, triple, quadruple dip into playing GTA 5 and you have a PlayStation 5 or a Series X, get on the store and see if it's still cheap. I know it's a bit more expensive on the Xbox, but wherever you're playing, I'm sure it'll be a good time. So, John says, Skyrim must win. Oh wait, Resident Evil 1, I reckon. Resident Evil 4 is the game that has been ported the most, actually, I think. It was on GameCube, PS2, the Wii, the Switch, PC 3 times. Oh, there's plenty more mobile versions. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So that's all I've really been playing over the last few weeks. I'm trying not to jump into too many new games. I'm playing Pokemon Arceus on the Switch as well, but I've not touched that in a couple of weeks, so I do need to get back onto that. So let's talk about the first sort of news story of this week or last couple of weeks. It is the Harry Potter Legacy of Hogwarts game. Now, I've always been a big fan of Harry Potter. I used to read the books when I was around the same age as the characters in the book, so it was always quite a big sort of magical imagination thing for me when I was a child. And we've never really had a top tier solid Harry Potter game. And this one was leaked years ago now, and it's finally coming to its fruition here. And it's more of like a, it's actually being compared a lot to Bully, if you remember the Rockstar game Bully. So imagine Bully, but you're a wizard. So I'm not sure if you can actually just go around like beating up other wizards and kids. That would be quite fun, but I can't see that being passed on as a gameplay element. But from the state of play, where they showed off about 14 minutes of gameplay from this game, it looks really, really good. Like, I don't think they have any right to make a Harry Potter game look this good. It's set around the Hogwarts castle. You can go to Hogsmeade. You can fly around your broom to all these sort of open world areas surrounding the castle. They have dungeons and puzzles, and there's so many different gameplay elements to this game. It seems to be taking sort of inspiration from the types of games like Shadow of War and the Batman games, with its combat being able to sort of counter-attack and dodge and things like that, but obviously using spell combat. But I've got to say, from those 40 minutes of gameplay, I'm sold. It seems to be a single-player only game, so it seems to be story-focused. And hopefully, if this thing does well, we get to see a sort of a big franchise. It's set about 100 years or so before the actual events of the movies and the books, so you get to see a whole new sort of way of looking at the world of how Hogwarts was ran back then, and some more of the more prehistoric, I say prehistoric, more of the old wizarding ways before our sort of civilization came along, I guess. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I'm not sure if this will be a day one pickup or not, but it comes out in holiday 2022, so my bet would be a late November, maybe even a December game, because Harry Potter stuff seems to like coming out around the holiday time, like Christmas time. There's a lot of controversy about this game with the whole J.K. Rowling situation, and it's a battle that you can't really win, because obviously it's her IP. She will probably be getting some money from this game, which a lot of people are boycotting it about. But for me, I mean, I'm separating it from her anyway. It's a game. It's made by a studio of passionate people who want to see this game out there. So they've put their heart and soul into it, and it looks amazing. So yeah, I will probably be picking this up. So I can't wait to check it out whenever it gets a release date and when it arrives. Probably going to pick this one up on PC. Okay, next up we have a new release from Supermassive Games. This is the company that released Until Dawn, and I believe most of the same team are the people behind the Dark Pictures anthology games like Man of Medan, Little Hope and House of Ashes. So I'm not actually sure if this is one of the games that was semi-leaked in a big list of Dark Pictures games. I'm sure I do remember this title, but this one just popped up out of nowhere on Twitter with a release sort of teaser saying we're going to be announcing the next game tomorrow. And like I said, it's not part of the Dark Pictures game. It's more of its own identity, and it's going to be more of a longer affair like the Until Dawn game. So we're getting a fully fledged one. Hopefully that means there's a lot of budget and stuff packed into this one. So the Quarry, which is actually coming out in June, so it's not far off at all. And I haven't played the last two Dark Pictures games, so I really need to pick up the pace and get them streamed. Well, I say stream, just play them on stream. So this one looks to be more of a summer camp experience game. Now, this is all the ideas that were floating around in my head back in the day when we were thinking of a sequel to Until Dawn. If it's going to be a sort of anthology series, I'd love to see a Friday the 13th style one, and it seems like we're actually getting it with the Quarry. It seems to be very inspired by things like Friday the 13th with all summer camp and the camp counselors, and it's got quite a big cast as well. So the actors, from what I remember from the trailer and what I've seen online, is we have Ted Raimi, who is the brother of Sam Raimi, the guy who directed Evil Dead. He also played Henrietta, if you're watching the video version, is this creature here. So Ted Raimi is playing a character in the game. We have, I can't remember the guy's full name, but he's Justice something. He is the young guy from the last Jurassic Park movie. We have David Arquette, obviously from Scream. He plays Officer Dewey. He is playing what seems to be a cop in this as well. So I've always liked David Arquette, so bring it on. Let's see what he's like. And I think I read that Lynn Shay is in this as well, which is the older lady from The Conjuring and Insidious and all those kinds of movies. So they obviously paid a lot for cast, so hopefully we get the performances out of them. My post-COVID cough is kicking in there. But yeah, it comes out in June, so I better step up my game and get through all those other games, but I'm going to check this one out. And last on the list, not the biggest update on the news front here, but we are getting a free next-gen upgrade for the Resident Evil games. This is Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, and Resident Evil 7. John Burr said in the chat, take some water on, absolutely. The post-COVID cough seems to come out when I'm speaking a lot more. So obviously a podcast is the main culprit here. But yeah, these games are getting a next-gen upgrade on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's a free patch as well. So what we're getting here is some ray-traced reflections and shadows, I believe. We're getting higher frame rates. I'm not sure if we're getting higher texture work as well. But either way, it's free. I'm definitely going to play it again. Resident Evil 7 came out in 2017, I believe. So it's over half a decade old by this point. So I think it would actually do really well to add a lot of sort of new visual upticks on it, especially with like the ray tracing and stuff. I feel like it could really make this game feel a lot more modern, because some of the textures in that game are a bit muddy, a bit blurry. So I'm looking forward to playing 7 again. 2 and 3 are games that I've been planning to stream again for such a long time, but I just haven't got around to it. And I was actually considering doing it very recently, and then I saw this news and I thought I might as well wait now and wait till it's all patched up and prettier and give it another whirl. A lot of people are still angry that Resident Evil 3 isn't getting any DLC like the clock tower stuff, but who knows, they might surprise us. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this week. Obviously, it's been such a long time off. There's been so much news that has happened over the last month or two, with the whole Activision being bought, then Bungie being bought, the whole Blizzard thing. There's been so much news, and you know, I could have done a 2-hour long podcast just talking about all of those things, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick to things that are interesting to me and are a bit more up to date than that, because it is old news now. So several things have happened since then. But I've spoken about the things that I'm interested in, and hopefully you guys are as well. So let me know your thoughts down below if you're watching this on YouTube or on chat, on the Twitch chat even. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this if you're an audio listener. I hope this has got you on your way to work, or if you're going for a walk, or just anything. If you're sitting there and you're thinking you want to listen to some nerd like me talk about movies and games and stuff. So that's my aim. I like to find like-minded people who like to listen to the same opinions, and not opinions, but the same sort of news that I enjoy listening to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts myself. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed episode 7 of my podcast. I do apologize, one, for this being so long after the last one, and obviously this COVID cough thing, it needs to disappear, because it is it's not good for my audio quality, is it, guys? So thanks everyone who has stopped by in the stream, or if you're watching this afterwards, do let me know your thoughts, and I will see you again, hopefully a lot sooner, with episode 8. So thank you all, and see you next time.